NASA did something that sounds impossible. It sent a spacecraft so close to the sun that, for the first time in history, it actually flew through the sun's outer atmosphere. This mission is called Parker Solar Probe, and it changed the way we think about the sun forever. For most of human history, the sun was something distant, untouchable, almost forbidden. We could study its light, we could measure its heat, but we could never truly enter its atmosphere. Parker changed that. In 2021, NASA confirmed that the spacecraft had passed through the sun's corona, the superheated outer atmosphere that extends millions of miles into space. That meant humanity had not just observed the sun from far away, we had touched it. And that sounds insane because everything about the sun feels impossible to survive. The heat, the radiation, the violence, the scale. This is the star that makes life on Earth possible, but it is also a giant unstable engine of plasma and magnetic chaos. Parker was built to go straight into that environment and keep working. It was never trying to land on the sun, and it was never meant to fly into it the way people imagine. It was built to do something smarter. Using repeated flybys, Parker kept diving deeper and deeper into the sun's environment, getting closer with each orbit while surviving conditions that would destroy almost anything else. And somehow, it kept going. The spacecraft is protected by a carbon composite heat shield about 4.5 inches thick. That shield can withstand temperatures near 2,500 degrees Fahrenheit while keeping the instruments behind it far cooler. So even though the environment around Parker is unimaginably violent, the spacecraft can still measure what is happening around it. But the part that makes this mission feel truly unreal is not just the heat, it is the speed. At its closest approach, Parker passed only about 3.8 million miles from the sun's surface, while moving at roughly 430,000 miles per hour. That is faster than any human-made object has ever traveled. At that speed, Parker is not just visiting the sun. It is diving through one of the most extreme environments in the solar system at a speed that barely feels real. And NASA did not send Parker there just to prove it could survive. The mission is trying to answer questions scientists have struggled with for decades. Why is the corona so much hotter than the visible surface below it? How does the solar wind accelerate to such extreme speeds? And what causes the violent eruptions and disturbances that can affect satellites, communications, and power systems here on Earth? These are not abstract questions. The sun shapes the space environment of the entire solar system. When it becomes violent, we can feel the effects. That means Parker is not just exploring something beautiful. It is helping us understand a force that can directly affect modern life on Earth. But even that is not the strangest part. The strangest part is what this mission says about us. We usually imagine exploration as going farther out, toward distant planets, dark space, and places beyond the edge of what feels reachable. But one of the boldest missions humanity has ever flown went the other direction. It went toward the brightest, hottest, most dangerous object in our sky. The thing people once could only fear, worship, or watch from a distance. And now a machine built on Earth is flying through its outer atmosphere, measuring it from the inside. That is what makes Parker Solar Probe so hard to process. This is not science fiction. This is not an artist's metaphor. NASA touched the sun, not in a poetic way, for real. And somewhere inside that impossible fire, Parker is still flying deeper,